I think it's about time we discuss the story that happened last Friday in France, where a Muslim man was brutally murdered inside of a mosque in the south of France. Now, this story has not been going around the mainstream media, so in case you've missed it, let me fill you in. The horrific incident took place in a quiet village in the south of France where Abu Bakr Sisi, aged 23, was in attendance of his local mosque on Friday morning. CCTV footage obtained from the mosque shows that Abu Bakr Sisi was alone in the mosque when he was approached by the attacker. They engage in a conversation and then Sisi proceeds to show him how to pray. He bows down in prostration and then the attacker goes in. He stabs him multiple times. And when I say multiple times, we're talking about dozens of times. He stabs him dozens of times in a frenzy and then proceeds to record himself insulting Islam and uploading it onto his Snapchat. Many of the news outlets that have been reporting on this horrific incident have refused to print the words that this attacker used. However, I trolled through several publications before I found exactly what he said. So astaghfirullah for having to repeat this, but I think it's important that you hear his words. He said, I did it, F your shitty Allah. I'm sorry to have said that, but I need you to understand what exactly I'm so traumatized by having to repeat those words. I've lost my own words. Let's get back to this. So I have repeated them because I want to discuss with you his defense later on. So these words are extremely important. Remember exactly what I said. Let me summarize so far exactly what has happened. So the attacker went into his local mosque where he saw one lone man praying. He approached that man, had a long conversation with him, asked him to show him how to pray. When Sisi then went on to show him how to pray, he stabbed him dozens and dozens of times. And while Sisi lay out on the floor bleeding to death, the attacker then went on to his Snapchat and repeated the words that I mentioned earlier. Okay, now that we have the summary of exactly what has happened, let's talk about who this attacker was. The attacker was named as Oliver.A in the French media and by the French police. However, we have been able to obtain his full name, which is Oliver Hadzovic. Oliver Hadzovic is of Bosnian descent but a French national. Hadzovic, aged 21, fled France to Italy, and it has been reported that police are investigating that this was with the help of family or friends. Now, he has a relative over in Italy, and that's where he fled to. However, on Monday morning, he went with that relative and his lawyer to hand himself into the police. Now, I'm going to go over the statement that his lawyer has made. Now, I want you to cross-reference that with his earlier words after he committed the crime. Having fled France on Friday with the help of a family member, by Monday morning, Hadzovic had managed to employ an Italian solicitor called Giovanni Slavetti. Now, the lawyer has said that he is denying that his client was motivated by the hatred of Islam. He told investigators he had killed the first person he saw and that he had said nothing against Islam or mosques. I want you to cross-reference what his lawyer has said with the words that I quoted before. Now, these were not words that somebody said that he said. He uploaded this footage onto his Snapchat. These were his words exactly. So somebody explained to me how those words do not mean that he did not have a problem with Islam, mosques, or Muslims, and that he did not purposely target a Muslim worshipper inside a mosque. Remember what he said, I did it. I did it. I will be doing a follow-up video looking at the way that the French government and politicians have handled this situation, how Cece's family are feeling, and what the current outcome is. So please stay tuned for the update that I should be uploading later on tonight.